Welcome to Dr. G's AI for teachers and students. As I'm pretty sure most all of you have seen the explosion in AI, at least in the news, over the last few weeks. And lots of teachers that I've talked with and asked questions of are a little bit scared of AI. They don't really know how to use it in a constructive way in the classroom. So in this channel, I'm going to spend some time each episode discussing, sharing, and giving illustration of how to use AI wisely and responsibly in the classroom. Not only will teachers, I hope, see this information and utilize it, but I welcome students because I'll focus sometimes on exactly what a student can use to improve their use of AI and use it wisely. So after the last few years with the rise of social media, perhaps you've seen the film The Social Dilemma, we didn't really get to use it responsibly that much in the beginning. There was such a hype and an explosion of use of social media, and most of it seemed like really positive. A lot of us were drawn into it and really didn't have any guidelines or sense of responsibility of how to use it wisely. That's improving. And it's improved quite a bit over the last year, especially since 2020, during the pandemic years. We have a long way to go to use social media responsibly, and now we have this new explosion of technology, AI. Of course, it's been around quite a long time, but it's now becoming possibly useful for the everyday person. And a lot of different areas will be utilizing it to improve their work, to take a little burden off some of their work. And hopefully with teachers, there's such a demand on your time and energy that any way you can use AI responsibly and with wisdom is very much welcome. Let me just give a couple of examples of what some teachers are concerned about right now. Plagiarism. Well, I've been using for years guards against plagiarism, not that it's perfect, but usually within the first day or first few days of class, I'll have the students write something, a one-page, handwritten. If we have access to laptops or computers, we can do it that way because it's a little bit easier to read than some of the handwriting you look at. So it might be something like, what did you do during Christmas vacation? Or during the pandemic, what was your experience? And so I give an example from my own life so they understand how to create a short essay, one-page essay. A lot of them already know how to do it. And then I use that sort of as a baseline for their writing style and their writing approach and the quality of the writing. On a little aside there, if I do notice a lot of weakness in the writing with the student, then I know I can actually help them improve their writing. So that's another use. But the one big thing with AI, if they generate a paper using AI, I'll have that as a base. As a teacher, if you've looked at a lot of papers or essays, it's not that difficult to spot something that looks perfect. It's almost like not even real. It's surprising, it's relatively accurate, it's a little bit, what's the word, kind of stiff and not realistic in terms of style, but it seems on the surface to be very, very much real and perfect. And you kind of go like, wow, that's fantastic. But when you look at it more closely, you start to see what it's really about. In fact, you might run an experiment and pick a paper topic. It might be almost anything. Maybe it's a short essay, 3 or 4 page essay on Abraham Lincoln, and let it generate a paper, and then do it again, then do it again, a second, a third time. You'll see it change over time. Now, speaking of that, I've used AI in a lot of variety of ways. One, for example, is besides generating a paper or a short paper, I've used it for cover letters as a starter, not as the final letter, to just give me a rough draft. You might want to use it in the classroom for students to generate an outline or brainstorm some ideas. Quite often things are left out. AI doesn't bring up everything, but it does bring up some things that perhaps you might have missed. There is an example, going back to plagiarism, of someone I know who's a teacher. One of their top students turned in a paper, and it was generated by AI. She recognized right away he did not write it because she knew his style. But number two, he left the symbol for the AI on the paper. So there's a symbol for or image that goes along with the different sites. For example, Bard by Google and Chat GBT from related to Microsoft. So that's a giveaway right away. But still, if you compare the sample writing with the actual paper, most of the time it's going to be very obvious. There's a whole thing I might talk about how to handle a situation like that, maybe next time. In the meantime, it's here to stay. It's time to look at what we can do to use it wisely and responsibly. And I would say after looking at it now for over a month on a regular daily basis, there's a lot of pros and cons. And as a teacher, it's really important to come up with a game plan that you can use in your classroom. The university that I work at has already given like little mini seminars that are videotaped or generated in a streaming fashion that they put up for the teachers to look at, the instructors to review, to help them, guide them on the path of how to use AI responsibly. I'm assuming most school districts will begin to do that if they haven't already. But at the very least, as a teacher, you need to bring up the topic of AI and how you're going to handle it in your classroom. What I've done is I'm going to post in the comments section below the video on YouTube a lesson plan. And now you can check out the lesson plan, adapt it to where you want to do it. It's an introduction to AI for high school students, although I look it over and it can be used for freshmen and sophomores in college as well. With that, I thank you for watching, and please double check this channel in the next couple of weeks. I hope to put out an AI for teachers and students on a regular basis to assist you in your instructing with this in mind. Thank you.